straight up. Frank, are you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
All right. How old are you, partner? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, how old are you?
Hello? 25 years old. I've debated you plenty of times. You're not a good debater, really, but that's
Sure.
besides the point.
Sure, I'm
The
not.
point is that Kamala Harris is just terrible.
Okay.
We've
Why?
known that for a while.
Why?
Because the thing is, at least with Trump, you know what you're going to get. With Kamala, however, you don't know what you're going to get because she changes her story all the time.
Trump has also changed positions on multiple things. What's your point? Are people not wait real quick? Are people not allowed to change their mind in the time that they're alive? Is that just not a thing?
They are, but when you do it too much, it just shows that you have no integrity. It just shows
how
that
how has she done it?
Whatever.
Wait, real quick. How has she done it so much? She had decisions.
So on fracking,
wait,
let me give you examples.
Wait, hold on. She had positions. Hold on. She had positions prior to entering the White House. Then she entered the White House and some positions changed, probably because she got some information while in the White House or how like things are done in the White House, right? So what's the issue? She hasn't changed any policy position since 2020.
Yes, she has. Yes, she has. On number one, she was against fracking when she first ran for president. That's number one. In 2019, yes.
And then
so what has changed? Because
2020, she changed her mind. In 2020, she changed her mind. Like I just said,
I mean, the fracking business has not changed.
Frank, I know that you think just talking a lot makes you right. But again, what I just said is she hasn't changed a position since 2020, which you just proved me right on, because she hasn't changed her fracking position since 2020. So thank you.
Wait, but what has changed with fracking?
I don't know why she's. I don't care
about the timeline.
I don't know or care why she shifted her position.
Timeline.
I do not know or care. I do not know or care why she changed her position on fracking. I don't give a shit. Right? Well, I don't agree with her. I don't agree with her current decision on fracking. I think we should ban fracking, but she does not. Probably for a litany of reasons, mostly probably due to like oil production. But I don't agree with the decision to maintain fracking. So I don't really care that she flip-flopped on this, right? It's a non-issue for me. So do you
really think that it matters to me that you pick an arbitrary timeline and say, oh, well, 2020, since 2020, she has, I don't care what timeline you pick. She changed her position.
So has
She's
Donald
not a person
Trump.
with integrity.
Donald Trump also changes his position all the time.
Nope, he's always been concrete. Ever since he came down that rolling escalator, he has been concrete on his positions.
No, he has
not.
Tell me
one position he has changed on.
Okay, we can talk first and foremost that Donald Trump has yet to say whether or not he would go with it. He said multiple times, hey, I am for the states having the right to decide on abortion, yet he will not tell us if he would veto a national abortion ban or not. Probably because he won't. Probably because he wouldn't do that. But he's been utterly avoidant on that question, has never answered that question directly. So I don't know how he's going to give it to the states when if the federal government decides to push an abortion ban through, he hasn't told us whether he's going to veto it or not. This is a policy position change. Right, his stance on IVF is a policy position change. Right, how many more do you want me to give you? We can keep going.
On the first one, he has not changed his position. He's always been for the states choosing
then why
what they wanted, because we know that people.
When asked if he would veto a national abortion ban, super easy question. If you're 100% for the states, should be a super easy question to say yes to.
Number one, well, I mean, he knows that Alabamans want different abortion policies than Californians. He knows that.
That's not what I asked. I asked if the federal government, Congress or the Senate, pushes through an abortion ban, will he veto it? Yes or no? You can't answer it because he won't answer it.
No, he still hasn't made his choice on this, right? Because he still has
if the answer is anything other than yes, I would veto it, then he's not for the states' rights to choose.
Well, we don't know his answer.
Exactly, because he refuses to answer it.
Yeah, we don't know his answer yet, but most likely
I would assume if you're refusing to answer, the answer is not yes, I would veto it, because you would just say that, right? What would be the purpose of not just saying that?
Because the thing is, this is politics, and I think you understand the business of politics very well. He still has to look for the suburban voters, suburban mother voters, and also the conservative.
So he's lying.
Christians.
So he's just lying to people.
To give in to both of these.
So wait, so he's just lying. You're saying
a
he
politician
would.
playing
You're
the
saying he
politics game is not
would.
lying.
You're saying he would push it through, but when asked, he avoids the question so he can convince people to vote for him, even though he doesn't believe in this and would vote against it. That's lying.
No, I think most likely
That's
he will
called
not
lying.
sign. I think he will veto a national abortion.
Then why hasn't he said he would veto a national abortion ban?
Because he does not want to lose the hardline conservative
So he's
votes.
lying
That's
to
why
the
he's-
hardline conservatives so he can maintain getting their votes. Why would I vote for someone that's going to lie to his base just so he can get their votes?
Wait, but Kamala Harris also has some positions which she's also very vague on, which she hasn't given
Such as?
any clear answers to.
Such as?
Well, there are multiple. I can, for example, number one, she hasn't given a clear answer on what her economic platform is. She hasn't.
Yes, she has.
No, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
She said, no, she said in the beginning that she will, when she was running in 2019, she said
I'm not
that
looking
she
at what she said in
supports.
2019. I'm looking at what she has said now about her
Okay.
policy positions. She has created
so-
policy positions, hold on, surrounding the economy. One would be increasing the child tax credit specifically to $6,000. One would be giving $50,000 to new business startups. The other would be a $25,000 federal down payment assistance on new homeowners. These are all policy positions on the economy that are not vague. She's also proposed increase to adding on an unrealized capital gains tax. That's not vague. She's added
Which is a terrible,
it's
terrible
actually a
thing, by the way.
brilliant idea. If you know anything
Why?
about unrealized capital
Why?
gains, you would realize it's
I know a lot about it.
Do you? What's an unrealized capital gains?
Unrealized capital gains is the tax rate on investments that have not been sold yet.
Yep.
So
and
unrealized.
how much?
So
what is
there's
the,
short.
what
Hold
is
on, let
the-
me answer your question.
You
Let me
just
answer your
answered
question.
it. You just
There
answered
are,
it.
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't.
That
There
is
are
what
two. There's short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. She's saying that I don't care what you do with short-term capital gains. I think speculators need to be getting rid of the markets. But in terms of long-term capital gains, I think we should minimize it as much as possible because we have, significant amount of money that investors put into the economy.
How much net worth do
And we
you
don't
have
wanna
to
ruin it for
have?
them.
How much net worth do you have to be hit with her tax?
I think hers was 400,000, or
No.
maybe it was $1 million. It was one of those two.
It's $100 million is the cap that she put on it. So unless you make $100 million, you don't even get hit with this tax. Second
It
of all,
isn't about me, though.
Second of
It
all,
isn't about me, though.
hold on. Second of all, unrealized capital gains are currently being used by these people who have them to buy and sell things. For instance, Elon Musk, to purchase Twitter, used unrealized capital gains. So you're telling me
aware.
we have a system in which you can have this thing that you don't get taxed on, but you can use it as monetary currency. So
I'm
you
aware,
can
but
buy major purchases with unrealized gains, but never pay taxes on those major purchases. Yes, that's a fucked
I'm
system.
listen,
you should have to
you
pay
are
the
correct.
unrealized capital
You-
gains.
You are correct. No, you shouldn't. You are correct
Yeah, you
that
should.
none of us. You are correct that none of us here on this live are part of that club. But these, Jovan, are our system's capital allocators. And I don't know if you are aware of this. I'm assuming that for production you need labor and capital. If you restrict labor and you put all of these, capital blocks on them, you're going to ruin the market. So
How?
what will that lead to? That will lead to lower.
Wait, you can't just say
Because
you're
how
going to
can you-
lower the market. You can't just say that. You have to
No, I said you're
demonstrate
going
how
to
it would
ruin
happen.
the market
Yeah,
dynamics.
you can't just say you're
I
going to
can
ruin the
demonstrate
market. Sure, demonstrate it.
Let me demonstrate it for you. So number one, how are you going to even tax this? You're going to force someone to sell their own investments, right? Because it's unrealized. They still haven't sold it. So are you going to force people to sell their
Do you
investments?
think unrealized gains don't have a monetary value?
They do on paper. But what I'm saying is they're
so
unrealized.
because they have a
So you're
monetary
gonna have
value,
to force
you
the person
value
to sell
because
their
you have
investments.
nope. You see, I knew you didn't know what you were talking about. You don't have to sell it. You would just get a tax penalty during tax time, right?
You're cutting out. I don't know if you want to repeat that again.
You don't have to sell it. You would just get a penalty for the tax on it at tax time. You would just get a penalty for it at tax time, and you pay that penalty once a year for as long as you have the unrealized gains. Then when you get rid of the unrealized gains, you don't pay that anymore. So try again.
Can you repeat that again? You cut out so bad. I don't know.
I mean, get
I don't know
better
if it's
internet.
my
I don't know what
connection.
to-
Can you
It's
repeat that again?
It's definitely your connection. So again, you don't have
Okay, now
to.
it's better. So please.
So again, the way you do tax it is you evaluate how much the unrealized gains are worth, which we can already do because that's how they use them to buy and sell things. Is those unrealized gains are evaluated. You typically do this once a year anyway, and then you tax a percentage on that unrealized value, and then you pay that percentage. You don't have to sell the thing. You pay the percentage of tax on it, which all of these people have the money to do because they're the ones whose net worth is over $100 billion. They have plenty of money to pay this unrealized gain.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that point, but what you're not understanding is you're saying we're going to penalize people for simply investing in the markets. So if that's the case, why would someone come to America? Why would someone invest in American companies, employ American people, start projects, and expand into America if you're just going to penalize them for merely investing in American
Do you
markets?
think that the people?
Why would
Do you
you
think
do
that
that?
the people? Wait. Do you think that all the people who have unrealized capital gains over a net worth of $100 million are all like giant employers? It's also
Not
just people
all,
who
not
are.
all,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
also just
vast
people
majority.
who invest. No, who are these people? Wait, how many people in the U.S.
No,
make over 100 million a year?
You're not. I'm saying the vast majority of the money. I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the money itself. The vast majority of that money is actually working capital. It's literally it's part
So
of the
again,
production process in our country.
you think that there are people who should have money that's unrealized, right? And be able to buy and sell and trade with this money, but never pay tax on it.
Yes.
They can leave it unrealized as
Yes.
long as they want and never pay taxes.
Absolutely.
That's brain
Absolutely.
dead.
It is crucial.
No,
it isn't brain
no,
dead.
it's
It
not
is
crucial. Wait, you haven't actually demonstrated how it's crucial, right? There has been no evidence that by putting an unrealized gains tax, there's been no evidence that putting in an unrealized gains tax is going to send all of these people across seas. There's been no evidence of this at all. You're just making stuff up.
I'm not making stuff up. You're okay.
So
well, I mean,
demonstrate
okay,
it. So demonstrate it with like actual
P1.
evidence.
Okay, I will. P1 is that people who make generally, right, the most amount, not even the people, but the amount of money that's in the market currently, right, the vast majority of it is working capital. That's my first premise. Do you agree with it or do you disagree with it?
That the vast majority of his working capital? No, I would disagree.
Yes. You don't believe that you don't believe that, for example, when say like the stock market, most of the money in there is helping these companies fund in terms of expansion, in terms of strengthening their balance sheets. You don't believe that's what's happening?
For unrealized gains, no.
Well, all the money that's in the market doesn't really matter, you know. It could be realized, unrealized.
Wait, but again, we're talking about unrealized capital gains. We're not talking about all the money in the marketplace. We are only talking about unrealized capital gains.
And so this money is in the market and it is helping companies build projects, etc.
It's helping companies
And so why
escape
would we
paying taxes. Also,
They shouldn't have to pay taxes on this. It's helping our economy.
unrealized gains oftentimes are more associated with property than they are with these big businesses paying for employees and doing all this other stuff. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, so listen, I don't think we're just understanding each other here, because you're arguing that all this money, right? You're saying it's in the form of property. Okay, sure, that's fine. But why should we tax it when we know that it will lead to a disastrous
It won't.
market
You
dynamics,
keep saying this. You keep
which
saying
will
this.
reduce the amount of capital.
Except
Yes, it certainly
we've had literal Nobel laureate economists look at this tax policy and say this will not negatively impact America, because that's just not how unrealized gains work. but you're okay with billionaires because that's really who it's going to affect. It's not going to affect Joe Schmo making $50,000 a year. It's going to affect the people that make over $100,000 a year, which is only no, it won't. No, it won't. It absolutely will not.
Yes, it will. When these capital allocators say, you know what, I don't want to put my $100 million in American markets. I'm going to put them in European markets or Chinese markets or anywhere. Yes, that directly will affect the amount of people that are hired, the amount of expansion that these companies do, which will also decrease. Yes, it surely will.
No, it won't, Frank. You keep saying this, and it's easy to keep saying this and spouting this and play this fear-mongering game that, oh, this is going to crash everything and ruin everything and blah, 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 and it's going to do all this, davna. No, all you're proposing for is that these companies that have the money to pay this tax, that they're going to magically leave the country. They're going to magically go somewhere else, right? They're going to take all their stuff and leave the country, even though, let's face it, being in the country is what makes them their money to begin with. They're going to magically all stop hiring people and people's pay is going to decrease because a couple people, right, and companies that have a net worth of over 100 million now have to pay 26% on an unrealized capital gain. Even though, again, multiple economists have looked at these proposals and have said none of this is going to happen. But you, Frank, in your infinitesimal wisdom, you have figured that out. Even though you can't explain how it's going to happen, you say it will. And then when you try to explain how it will, you misrepresent what an unrealized gain tax even is.
I think I defined it very well.
How is it going to happen,
Wait,
Frank?
When you ask me for the definition.
Give a detailed plan of how it's going to happen instead of just saying it will happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, so let's say someone like BlackRock or any of these large institutional investors which have a significant sum of money in the markets, you don't think, and this money goes to companies and these companies, they raise wages, expand, they employ more and more people because of the money from these investors. You're saying we're going to tax them on this, and these investments sometimes they're really long term. I mean, infrastructure investments in real assets is 30 years plus, right? Investments in infrastructure, 30, 50 year plus. You're going to say we're going to tax these people on these investments. And what is the rate again? Is it 1% per year? What is it?
It's going to be a 25%. So what is going to happen is if you are a household with more than 100 million in wealth, you will pay 25% of your annual income, including your unrealized capital gains.
So this doesn't apply to institutional investors.
It applies to households with more than 100 million in wealth.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I don't really mind or care for it.
Yeah, because I knew you didn't know the policy position. You just fear-monger the policy position. Like I said. But yeah, I'm the one who's bad at it. But I'm the one who's bad at debating, Frank. Yeah.
No, you really are terrible at debating because, I mean, all your other debates, such as transgender debates, those are the worst debates you can possibly host, right? I've debated you a ton of times on those debates, and you still haven't given me any credible thing. Oh, speaking of transgender, you are aware that Kamala Harris, as Trump said she will allow transgender operations on illegal immigrants. So that's it's 2 times bad. It isn't just 1 time bad. It's 2 times bad.
First of all, I don't give a fuck about
giving them
that.
free money.
Wonderful, great. I'm
I'm
very happy that people are receiving health care, Frank. I'm very happy about that. I don't care if they're in this country legally or not. I'm very happy that they're able to receive health care that they need.
Wait, so you just admitted to being an enemy against the U.S.?
Sure, Frank. If that's
because you said
if that's the straw man you want to take, go nuts.
No, you quite literally just
Frank,
admitted to being.
Quick question, Frank. If there's an undocumented kid and he gets shot in the stomach and he goes to the ER, should the ER turn him away? Should they be like, "Nah, we're not going to help you because you're not a member of this country"?
Absolutely not.
Oh, so
Absolutely
you
not.
think you do think
But
undocumented
absolutely
people
not.
should get health care? Oh, okay. It's just crazy because you
Well,
just
if
said
it's
that I was an
life-threatening,
enemy.
if
Wait,
it's
wait, you just said I was an enemy of the state
it,
because I wanted undocumented people to get health care. Now you're saying you want undocumented
no,
people
you
to get
wanted
health care.
undocumented.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wanted undocumented migrants to get transgender operations, which are ideologically driven medical
First of all,
operations.
most migrants are
That's
not
number one.
undocumented. Most migrants are not undocumented, first and foremost.
We're talking about the undocumented ones. That's the one. That's the ones we're talking about.
Sure, we can talk about the ones that don't have documents. Sure, they should also receive health care. 100%.
Including removal of their penises and all that other stuff, and
They
maybe
should receive
transplanting
whatever they should receive
skin
whatever
grafts.
health care. They should receive whatever health care their doctors find necessary for them. I don't care what the type of health care is. If their doctors say they need X type of health care, they should be able to access it. Just like every other person in this country should be able to access whatever health care their doctors find necessary. I know you don't believe this, but I believe
no. But I
this.
want you to be very clear instead of being
I'm very
Do you believe
I'm
that
being very clear. Any
you're not
type of healthcare, all of it, every single type of healthcare that they might need should be given to them. All of it. Every single one.
And this includes transplanting the skin grafts onto the
Every
vaginas of
single
illegal
one.
migrants.
Every single type of healthcare. Every single
I don't
type.
believe that.
I know you don't
that.
believe that. You believe
And-
healthcare should be gatekept. I understand this. I get it.
No,
I don't believe
people
this.
should pay for stuff, and
Yeah,
I don't
that's
believe if you come into a country
it's beautiful
illegally,
because undocumented immigrants pay upwards of upwards of $10 billion a year in taxes. So great, they are paying for it. Wonderful.
good for them. I pay taxes. That doesn't mean I'm entitled to free healthcare.
Actually, it does. You should receive health care
No.
for paying taxes. Actually, yeah. Considering we're the only developed country in the world that doesn't have this, yeah, I think you should also get your health care free at the point of service. Yeah. But sure, we can stay in the Stone Age and not have health care so that you can be beholden to Big Daddy insurance if you want. I understand you want Big Daddy insurance to hold your hand while they tell you what you can and can't do and what procedures you can and can't get. I get it. Me, I don't vibe with Big Daddy insurance. You do. It's fine. And he's gone. Like,